if you want to achieve supernatural amounts of greatness in your life and excellence, you need to be paranoid all the time. And by paranoid, I mean that who's taking my spot? Who's doing things better than I am? I'm doing well, but is this really all it could be? If I keep doing this, the same thing for 2 years, what will that look like? So I would say paranoia is definitely one of the most important things. Critical thinking, just being able to unemotionally look at things for what they are, not the, hey, someone wants to make you feel bad or someone is trying to shame you for like, how have you come to this conclusion? Not what someone is telling you, oh, you're a terrible person. How could you even think against the grain? Or how could you not agree with this thing that everyone agrees with? That doesn't matter. Can you critically think for yourself? So that's that. And the last thing is, I'd say, finances and managing cash flow. Like, you need to be able to manage cash flow. It doesn't matter if you're working with $20,000 a year or $200 million a year. You still need to be able to manage cash flow, and you need to understand where to put cash. And with that comes offense and defense and risk management. It doesn't matter who you are in life. Risk management is very important. And I think that's one of the biggest reasons why, over the years, everything that I've told people to do as a business model and as a way to make money, like, I see people out there telling beginners to trade crypto. And I ask myself, you're either genuinely brain dead, or you can just you have no conscience and you can sleep well at night. How stupid do you have to be to tell someone who has $3,000 saved up from working summer jobs, you know what the best way to make money is? Trade crypto. Because you know what? Maybe just maybe the one out of every 100,000 people or 10,000 people will get lucky and have that coin that 20x's. Okay, great. You got $60,000. Where do you go from here? Because quite clearly you don't know how to fucking make money because you just got lucky. And by the way, this is also coming from a person that made close to, probably in that period, I put $1 million into Bitcoin in November of 2020 and rolled into Ethereum. Probably in that period, close to $10 million in crypto. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm a genius. I will say I made $10 million in crypto and it was luck. Now, of course, at some times you make some strategic decisions in this and that, but for the most part, it was luck. That has no affiliation or association to me as a businessman and as an entrepreneur. So risk management is so important. It doesn't matter what position you're in life, because if you have $3,000 in the bank and you think that, okay, you know what? I'm going to start trading crypto. Yeah, you could make a bit of money, but you could also fucking lose everything. And that's why you need to work on businesses and you need to work on things where even if you failed for 12 months, how much damage is that going to cause to you? Because if you go ahead and you buy, and this is why, it's so funny to me. Sometimes people tell me, oh, why do you recommend we do something if you don't do it anymore? And it's like, because I'm sitting on infinite money, infinite connections, and a massive brand. I literally will make a phone call and make $5 million. It's at that level now. So you don't have that. So yeah, maybe I'm telling you to do things that I'm not doing, but I was doing them back in the day. And that's how I got to this position that I'm at. So that's really all to say that I think risk management is part of that, is being able to play offense and defense and see that, hey, with your money, I think people should be willing to spend their money. But if you're spending your money, let's say you spend $2,000 on something. Let's say you spend $3,000 on something. Let's say, for example, someone comes to even your mastermind and they come to one of your events or an adventure event that you're a speaker at or something, and they spend $5,000. I guarantee they'll walk away, at least in that situation, I know that they'll walk away with something that maybe not today, maybe not next month, maybe not even this year, but within a few years, it will make you more than $5,000. What's $5,000 in the scheme of things? Yeah. But if they spend $5,000 and you put it into some crypto coin or day trading or Forex or all this shit, and you end up with nothing and also no tangible real skills. So yeah, I would say that's the last thing, which is risk management. And
how, I was going to say, you mentioned Mastermind. How did your recent one go? Was that the first one you ever did?
Yeah, I did an event.
I'm sure we were speaking about it, and you were like, "Nah, I'm not doing masterminds."
I'll be honest. For me, that was more than that. Was just me. That was for me. It's maybe some of it has kind of come across in this podcast. Even I get so frustrated sometimes that I can't be like I can't talk business in the way that I want to, and like tell people like everything I've learned and everything I've put together in my company. One of my companies,
because they just
because where would I put it? Where would I talk about it?
Yeah.
Where would I talk about like the customer support? Managing 10,000 customer support tickets a day at a software company. Like I have nowhere to talk about that openly or freely. Of course, you can have conversations behind the scenes and stuff like that. But I really this is how I got into this thing. I got into this thing for a yearning to share with other people what I'm learning. But as I said, because I've gone to a point where I can't really talk publicly on, hey, here's the operations behind sending 8,000 people, new customers that come in a week, a handwritten note to 100 different countries. Like there's nowhere for me to really talk about that. So the reason I put an event together was I felt like, I'm just so passionate about education. And I know that the education space, there's so many people that are doing it wrong. And I feel like they could do so much more for their customers and for them that for me, it was more like a itch that I want to scratch, to be able to talk freely and put on my big business thinker cap on.
Yeah, it looked good.
It was solid. I mean, I try to, anything I do, I try to make it top tier. So hopefully it accomplished that.
If people want to, I'm sure there's so many people that want to just meet you and have a conversation with you. How would they go about that? Do they have to sign up to a mastermind?
No, you can't. No. Also, the thing is with the mastermind, it's you probably won't get let in. So that's number one. Like I have nothing to pitch or sell anyone here. When it comes to meeting me one-on-one, I don't do one-on-one stuff. I've been offered crazy shit, $50,000, $100,000 for a dinner. Even when it comes to sponsorships, I don't take any sponsorships. We have our,
have you ever, even in the early days of the YouTube, did you ever?
Absolutely zero sponsorships.
That's pretty impressive.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But bear in mind also with YouTube, like I actually had businesses.
Yeah.
Like the thing is, there's people.
I think it would just dilute what you have already. And then when you do too many, this is what people don't understand. If you have too many sponsors, it kind of ruins your brand a little bit.
Yeah, devalues the brand. I mean, listen, our rate, because I still get, my team still sent out my rate card. My rate card is $250,000 for a 30-second ad read. And the funny thing is, we've had dozens and dozens of companies, because they know that if they're the person that gets me with millions and millions and millions of followers and subscribers and this, that, and people know I don't do promotions, so they know how much money they're going to make.
Yeah, stake.
Drake advertises gambling. So, and no one even bats an eye at Drake. No one. I've never seen a single. And by the way, like I actually love Drake. I love Drake in terms of I like studying his career, and I like you can have whatever opinion you want on Drake, but for someone to stay relevant that long, whether you agree that you should stay relevant that long, because I think there is a case to be said that have your limelight, have your time, and as I kind of talked about, I think it's when you're on top is sometimes the best time to go out. I think that's the most poetic way to do it. But yeah, I haven't seen any bad press or anything about Drake, fucking promoting gambling to tens of millions of people and children and this and that, and all the streamers and this and that.
It's pretty weird when you think about it.
No, but if you and here's the business model of it. This is the crazy thing. You get a base, and then the way that you make most of your money, lion's share of your money, is you get a split of whatever they lose. So think about how fucked up that is. You're promoting something to your audience that for you to make money, they have to lose money. And that's not only just gambling, that's also crypto. So all these guys who, make all this money with crypto and this and that, they don't make their money from crypto. They make their money because they have a percentage split of whatever you lose. They get a percentage of that. Same thing with Forex. So it's, because obviously they'll advertise, these 10x multipliers, 20x multipliers using leverage and stuff like that. So
if you had to pick 3 brands that you would willingly get sponsored by, what would they be?
3 brands I'd willingly get sponsored by.
Or you would like to affiliate yourself with?
Patek Philippe, but they don't do any sponsorships.
Mm.
There's other watch brands I've had offers from of that caliber, but I'm gonna be
You're
honest.
loyal.
No, the thing is, listen, I wear Patek. I mean, I forgot to wear a watch today, but I wear Patek. I wear Richard Mille. I wear AP. I like tons of different. I wear Omega. I wear Timex. I wear tons of different watch brands. But like for me to publicly only be seen out with a certain watch brand, Patek is the only one that I would feel comfortable. Like Patek's catalog is so vast that I would have no issues with that. So I'd say Patek, Loro Piana. And the other one, I don't know, maybe, I don't know. Maybe a car brand, maybe Rolls Royce, but
Yeah, I guess that would make sense.
it would make sense. But listen, I love my Phantom, but
Mhm.
I'll be honest, apart from Phantom, I'm not, there's not too many other Rolls Royces that I would personally buy, because when I'm in a Rolls Royce, I like to be driven.
Mhm.
If you're driving, I like something a little bit more. Yeah, I'll zip around in my GT3 or something like that. So yeah.
Over the past couple of years, you've been hugely successful. You've documented that. What have been some of the biggest failures or flops or mistakes that you've made? Any ventures?
I'd say the biggest failures. Listen, I don't think you look at ventures. I don't think ventures could ever be failures. And also, let me put it this way: I've never put money into a company and lost my money. So that's really what I would look at as like a massive failure.
Mhm.
And I never put my money into a product where there might be bumps along the way. Don't get me wrong. Like even, my main software company, it was shaky for some time. Like, because we didn't take on $20 million in funding. I self-funded the entire thing until it was profitable. So it's, we didn't have the ammunition that some of these other software companies did. So for a long time, like I looked at the software and I was like, it's not where it needs to be. And I'm not, but these things take time. So of course, there's been companies where the product for some time isn't where I would want it to be, but eventually it gets there because we keep trying. So I wouldn't ever say that there's been ventures that have been failures because they've all ended up after some time becoming successful. I'd say my biggest failures have always been when it comes to people. Because no matter how sharp I am, and I'm very, very sharp when it comes to understanding people and team, every once in a while, there's that one person that slips and it makes you question yourself. You're like, fuck,